Hi guys, today we're going to take a look at my spring container vegetable garden. Hopefully it'll give you some ideas of some things that you can grow in containers. Everything we're going to take a look at today is cool season vegetables, and as the growing season progresses, some of this lettuce bolts, I'll slowly transition these containers over to warm season crops. Alright, so we're going to start here with my Mr. Stacky pot. I just bought this stacking pot system this year. So far I really like it. The stacking pots in this system are fairly large as far as stacking pots go. This whole thing is a little over 3 foot tall, and there's 20 little plant pockets where I can put my plants. This is one of my galvanized steel pots. There are a bunch of different lettuces growing in here. These lettuces were all started under my grow light. When I planted these out in the pot, I made sure to give each one plenty of space so that they could develop into these pretty little lettuce heads. You can also just direct sow your lettuce outdoors. That is what I have done in this pot. I just sprinkled the lettuce seeds all over the surface of the soil, not really paying attention to spacing at all. This is what it looks like now, and it still has a lot of growing to do. It's just going to grow into a big leafy clump of mixed lettuces. If you want to harvest a lot of lettuce throughout the season, it's a really good idea to stagger your plantings. When the pot of lettuce in the galvanized container is done and it has bolted and gone to seed, this lettuce will probably still be going. But keep in mind, as the weather warms up, lettuce does tend to bolt, but there are some things that you can do to slow down that process. Number one, make sure to keep your lettuce watered. You don't want it stressed out. And number two, move it to a shady area and it will bolt slower. If you don't know what bolting is, it's when lettuce grows tall and it goes to seed. It's usually brought on by warm weather or just the age of the lettuce. It'll just be done. People are always asking me how big these pots are, and I've never measured them. These are the pots that I grow watermelons in and everything else. So let's take a quick measure. Alright, so I mean it's maybe 19, or the opening's probably, let's see, almost 18 inches across. And this way, it's about 15 inches tall. So these are pretty big pots. You do not need pots this big to grow lettuce. That being said, keep in mind that smaller pots do dry out faster, so you will have to water them more often if you plant them in a smaller container. So this little number here is a, sorry, I'm laughing. I sent a picture of this to my sister and she asked me if it was a garbage bag with wire wrapped around it. It's not a garbage bag, it's a fabric grow bag. I've had it for a few years now, maybe 4, and it has lasted really well. I've left these things outside all winter. They've held up really great. The reason that I have this mesh fencing stuff around this is because I planted peas all along the edge of the bag, and I want them to be able to grow up and climb this. This is not a huge pea variety. It's dwarf gray sugar or something like that. It only grows a couple feet tall, so they don't need a lot of support, but I figured they could use a little support. Peas are really easy to plant. You just push them down under the soil, cover it up, and they'll come up. With peas, it's best to use fresh seed. If your seed is a couple of years old, go ahead and plant 2 little pea seeds in each hole. If they both come up, you can thin them out later. There's a lot of seeds that are good for many years. Some seeds tend to lose their viability pretty quickly. Peas seem to be one of those. There's also some radishes planted in here. To plant radishes, I just drop a couple of seeds into holes that I've spaced a couple inches apart. When they come up, I make sure to thin them out, because if you leave 2 growing right up on top of each other, they're just not going to grow well. I've also planted some turnips in here and some kohlrabi. I started those pretty much the same way that I started the radishes, except I spaced out the kohlrabi a little bit further apart, probably about 4 inches apart. There's some onion sets in here, and I also have this little patch of beet greens, because beet greens are really good in salad. If you haven't tried to grow them that way, I recommend it. If you've had salad mixes from the grocery store, you've probably already had beet greens. I've planted some Swiss chard in here. I love Swiss chard. Let me correct that. I love mild Swiss chard. I don't like the real strong flavored Swiss chard. It does really well in the heat. I find that some of the super colorful stemmed varieties are a little bit strong flavored for my taste. This is a really mild variety. It's beyond a something. I'll put a picture of the package up on the screen. But even with these, if you want to keep the flavor mild, pick the leaves when they're young. So in the summertime, when your tomatoes are growing and you want to make a bacon lettuce tomato sandwich or a tomato sandwich, there's no lettuce to be found because it's all bolted. You can count on your Swiss chard to produce. If you have clay soil like I do, it is not ideal for growing carrots in. So growing in a container is also an option for you. With carrots, I just sprinkle the seeds all over the surface of the soil, just like I did with the lettuce, but maybe not put as many in there as I did with the lettuce. Don't sprinkle them so freely because these will need thinned out. Carrots are slow to germinate. It took about 10 days for any carrots to come up in this container. It's really, really important to keep your seeds watered as they're germinating. And since carrot seeds do take a while to germinate, you really have to keep up on that. I want to give you guys a few tips and share with you some things that will help you to be more successful with your containers. Number one, your containers need to have holes in the bottom. A couple of years ago, my sister called me and asked me what was wrong with her container pot that she had grown out on her deck. She said she'd been watering it every day. She just didn't know what was wrong. And I asked her, do you have holes in the bottom of your container? She said no. So she went out there and drilled a hole in her container. She didn't drill it underneath because she didn't want to dump out all her soil, but she drilled it at the very bottom on the side and water just gushed out of her container. It's really important to make sure your containers have good drainage. And this isn't the sister that asked me if the grow bag was a garbage bag. This was one of my other sisters. It's also important to make sure that you're using a good potting mix. It doesn't matter what brand you get, you just want to make sure that you're using a nice, loose, light potting soil. My personal favorite is Miracle-Gro potting soil, but I've used many other different kinds. Eco Scraps, I really liked that one a lot, but I haven't been able to find it for the past couple of years. Some of the store brand potting soils are okay. I've seen the big giant 2 cubic foot bags of Miracle-Gro range in price anywhere from $9 to $14. I will not spend $14 on a bag of potting soil. I only buy it, and I buy a whole lot of it when I can find it for around $9. So if that's not within your budget, or if you just don't want to spend that kind of money, there are some good recipes online and you can make your own potting soil. Do some Google searching. Another way to save money on potting soil is to reuse your potting soil from last year. So I like to dump out about half of last year's potting soil, either into my garden to use as a soil conditioner or into another container. Then I fill up the other half of the container with brand new potting soil, give it a good mix around, and you've refreshed your potting soil. I also like to throw in a couple little handfuls of some granular fertilizer, and I've saved some money and I have some potting soil ready to go. And last, I want to talk about watering. A lot of people ask me, how often do I water this? How often do I water that? I've had a couple people get mad at me for not giving them a good answer. I can't tell you how often to water your plants. If where you live, the month of May is 60 degrees and you get tons of rain, I'm not going to tell you to go outside and water your plants every day because you probably won't need to water your plants at all. If it's 80 degrees and you get rain once a week, yes, you're probably going to have to go water your plants every couple days. Your container size is also a factor. If you're using a bigger container, you're not going to have to water as often as if you're using a small container. The way to figure out how often to water your plants is to go outside, just stick your hand down in the soil a little bit. If you feel moisture down there, you're probably good. You don't need to water them. And that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.